Chieftain Ralph here. I wasn't going to talk about my new auger as much until I really got to use it. I figured I didn't feel like doing that just yet. I figured I'd come up with a project that would get to show it off and use it, put it through its paces, talk about it a little more. Life had a different idea, as often it does. This is, oh, you got a new tool? Here, something broke, go fix it. So what ended up happening was our sawbuck broke. Ulfer originally made the sawbuck. I'm not the crafty one. Ulfer's the crafty one. So he originally made it, and it's lasted a long time, but a piece broke off of it. It'll happen sometimes with the joints. It's a weak point, pressure, it broke off. So I had to get the tree nails out of it. So my first thought was try to just pound it all apart, and that didn't work too well, because Ulfer makes sturdy things. So I have a corkscrew auger. I had one that wasn't bent. So I decided to use that, and while using it, as I think I've mentioned before, all the pressure's in the hand. So everything's your hand, your wrist, some of your arm, but it's all the motion down here. So when you're working it, you gotta continuously put pressure on. You know, when you're working this way, it's a little easier. You can get your body into it. I had to work this way, so you know, everything was in my hands cramping up, and I got through, and it still didn't work as well. So I said, well, I have this brand new auger, and the bit was a little bigger, so it would have helped more getting through. It's actually the same diameter as the holes that Ulfer originally used, so this worked so much better. I was able to put it up against me, on where I needed it. I was able to hold the piece I was working on and turn this with one hand. I could hold the piece, the pressure. So this gouged really well, and that's kind of what they are. They're spoon gouges on a stick, right? So this was able to gouge out a lot. The main difference between the two styles, when you have your corkscrew style, it's a corkscrew, so the wood will work its way up and out of the hole. Every once in a while you might have to blow on it, but the main wood will start to come out of the hole. This you have to stop and blow out your hole every once in a while, right? This will gouge it out, but it gouges it out and kind of keeps it in place. So if you're trying to go down and deeper, you go a good bit, and I haven't used it a ton, you know, let's say about the head of the bit, and then you got to pull it out, blow it out, and then keep going. But this worked great. This gouged out what I needed it to. The mechanics work better because you're using a lot more of your body, especially if you're making holes in something this way. Sorry if I sound like I'm yelling, the wind is actually picking up. You have a lot more leverage on that. You have a lot more leverage down here. It's called a breast auger in the Bayou embroidery. I think the individual is using it like this, so obviously he has a workbench. That'll have to be something I guess I have to make. So you're up here more. You're not going to really want to be down here too much. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about it because I actually did get to use it. The project was a success for the most part. Again, I'm not crafty, so of course I made one of the pegs too small. I ended up tying it together with leather cord, which I call leather cord the duct tape of the Viking world, because I use it on everything. If it gets wet, it ends up hardening. It'll shrink around what you're doing, so I love leather cord. Leather cordage is the way to go. We also know they had a lot of different cordage, so yeah. We had to fix the sawbuck immediately, because again, without the saw, we don't get a lot done. The saw is a complete game changer. They must have had them for all the great things they made. They must have used these saws quite a bit. They definitely would have used these. This was a game changer also. Way better, I think, than even, and this is a modern cord. This is not obviously a reproduction corkscrew auger. That's a modern one. The medieval version worked way better. The Viking Age breast auger, and there's something incredibly satisfying. I mean, it's not a something or a mystery. It's incredibly satisfying to fix a handmade sawbuck using a handmade tool to help fix it. And it is. It's using a piece of history. It's living history. It's discovering these great things, and that's why we do all this. It's so much fun. And yeah, I got to use it. Life said, no, you bought that thing, you're going to use it today. So that's all I got for now. Chieftain out.